Good evening. My name is Battaglia, and I was born here, I was raised here, and I was educated here. I went away to school at Florida State University, then I went to Drake University in Iowa, and that was probably the best decision I've ever made, because it was in Iowa that I met my wonderful wife, Nancy, and we've been married now for 27 years. And because of that decision, we have two wonderful sons, outstanding sons, ages 22. Jason just turned 22 yesterday, and Matt, who is 16. Very proud of that. I have been practicing in this circuit for 28 years. Not 7 years, not 14 years, not 21 years, but 28 years. And on May 16th of 1986, I raised my right hand and I took the oath to become a lawyer here in this circuit. And I'm proud of all of the work I've done here for the last 28 years. I've been involved in many matters in the community, but also in the courtroom as well. I haven't handled 25 cases, I've handled hundreds of cases. And I've argued cases at every level of our court system, including successfully arguing in the Supreme Court of Florida. I've argued many difficult cases and many complex cases. And that's what's important when you're evaluating a circuit court judge. I'm AV rated. I have the highest rating, peer review rating, for preeminent, for legal ability and ethics. So that's very important to consider. I've tried to improve our community. I was an organizing member of the community law program. There was a need in this community many years ago to assist folks who could not access the legal system. And so I was involved in assisting and working with others to organize that program. I was a member of that board of trustees. I served as president, and I was there for 18 years. I'm proud of that work. Those are the types of qualities that I think are very critical for this position. I'm asking for your vote for Brian Battaglia, for Circuit Court Judge, Group 16, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening. Thank you very much. Well, the judicial philosophy that I would apply, probably the same practice, experience, and demeanor that I've applied during my 28 career, and that would be to treat each case as if it were the most important case. I think that's the most critical thing that a judge can do. You heard earlier that judges have a lot of cases. They have a large caseload. Well, that's true. But each case is the most important case for the litigants who appear in front of that judge. So you can never forget that. And what I've done during my entire career is to treat each case, again, as if it were the most important case, because for the litigants it is. I think that's very critical. The other thing is to listen. Obviously you have to be a good listener, and you have to be respectful, and that's how I conducted myself during my career, whether it was with my clients, with opposing counsel, or with the court. So that's very critical as well. And I won't change if I'm elected as a circuit court judge, because that's the way I am. That's the way I've conducted myself for 28 years. So that's very important. So, judicial philosophy. Let's look at also some of the things that are important as it relates to the operation of the court. I've been a mediator certified by the Florida Supreme Court for 19 years, and so that particular experience and training is very important when you're in a courtroom and you're trying to handle the number of cases that are handled. What I would do also would be to look forward, not be reactive, but be proactive in evaluating the cases that are on my docket well in advance so that I could make the appropriate decisions at the appropriate time as it relates to what cases are most appropriate for possibly alternative dispute resolution mechanisms that Florida courts have been very effective in implementing in the court system. Thank you. Well, I guess in terms of expertise, I think that the expertise that I have has been reflected by being, I think, a good father and a parent to my children, and being a good husband to my wife, Nancy. So I've worked very hard during my career, the 28 years that I practiced here. Started off in a large law firm, and now I have my own practice. And my work ethic was, I think, excellent. And as a judge, you have to be willing to work very hard. It's very critical. we talked about before, a moment ago, you have many cases. And you have to be willing and disciplined to utilize the skills, work ethic, your understanding of the law, and of the process in that arena. That's important. But with regard to the things that I've done as a parent, as a husband, I'm very proud of that. And working so hard during my career, I really enjoyed the times that I've been able to spend with my family. It's been very important to me. So I would say that that's the most important thing outside of the law for Brian Battaglia, for Circuit Court Judge. Well, I want to thank all of you for being here this evening and allowing us to tell you a little bit about ourselves, and our lives, our practice. You have to make a decision as it relates to the next Circuit Court Judge for Group 16. And I think the most important thing for you to consider and look at is the experience. I've talked about that a little tonight as it relates to my 28 years of experience in the courts. And I'm proud of that experience and the efforts and the practice that I've had for that period of time. And I've heard most of the types of cases that a circuit judge would hear. I've handled most of the types of cases that a circuit judge would hear. And I think that's very, very important. I've argued cases, as I said before, at every level of our court system, including successfully in the Supreme Court of Florida. So that's the type of experience you want to look for in a circuit court judge. I'm AV rated, as I mentioned before, and I've been certified by the Florida Supreme Court for 19 years as a circuit and county court mediator. Also, I'm certified as a family mediator. So those types of experiences are important as it relates to, we talked about efficiencies, but utilizing those skills in the courtroom as it relates to making sure that the folks who appear in your court are treated fairly and properly, but also have somebody there who has the understanding and ability to ensure that those alternative dispute resolution mechanisms that Florida has been very advanced in implementing into the system are utilized in the appropriate way. So that's important as well. I said that I've been involved in the community. I think having an understanding of your community is very critical. For the past 28 years, I've been involved in many organizations in our community. I mentioned the Community Law Program. I'm currently on the Youth Park Foundation Board. We assist developmentally disabled folks in our community. And I've been involved in many other organizations, including sitting on the Pro Bono Committee for the Sixth Circuit. I've received the Sixth Circuit's Pro Bono Award. I'm proud of that. So again, I'd ask that you vote for the best choice for Circuit Court Judge for Group 16, Brian Battaglia. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here.